welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into something that is, no joke, becoming one of the most critical skills in AI. We're talking about large language model operations, or, as you'll soon be calling it, LLMOps. So let me ask you something. If you're working in tech right now, maybe as a DevOps engineer, what are you thinking about for the future? Like, what's that one skill you could learn that would absolutely change the game for your career, say by 2026? Yeah, that's what we're getting into. And here's the spoiler. The answer is LLMOps. Look, this whole field is brand new. That means if you get in now and really master it, you're looking at a golden ticket to some seriously high-paying jobs and the best freelancing opportunities out there. So let's break it all down. Okay, so first things first, why is this such a big deal? Why is this a golden opportunity? It really just comes down to basic economics, right? Supply and demand. You've got companies everywhere scrambling to jam AI into their products, but almost nobody knows how to properly manage these things in the real world. That gap, that scarcity, that's where you come in. Which, of course, leads us to the main event. What is LLMOps anyway? Let's actually define this thing, because it's going to be everywhere. Think of LLMOps as, well, it's kind of like a whole philosophy, a whole set of rules for handling these big, powerful language models. It covers the entire life cycle, from the second you say, hey, let's use an LLM, all the way through building it, deploying it into a real product, and then, this is key, watching it, monitoring it, and constantly making it smarter and safer. And you know what? There's a really simple way to think about this. You've got DevOps, right? That's for managing your everyday applications. Then you have MLOps for traditional machine learning models. Well, LLMOps is just the next piece of the puzzle. It's the specialized toolkit, the specific set of practices for this crazy new world of large language models. Okay, but wait a minute. You might be thinking, hold on, we already have MLOps for machine learning. Can't we just use that? I mean, isn't an LLM just a really big model? And that's a great question, but the answer is a hard no. They are fundamentally different beasts. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. Your traditional models, think of something that predicts the weather. They're pretty small, pretty predictable. You feed them data, they spit out a number. Simple. LLMs, totally different ballgame. First, they are massive, trained on just an insane amount of data. Their answers can be super unpredictable, and they have this bizarre, unique problem called hallucination, which is a fancy way of saying they can just make stuff up and sound completely confident about it. Plus, they're expensive as heck to run, and you guide them with text prompts, not just spreadsheets of data. That's why they need a whole new playbook. All right, to really drive this home, let me tell you a little story. A cautionary tale, if you will. This is what happens when you let one of these powerful AIs out into the wild without any of the guardrails that LLMOps provides. So picture this, an online store, an e-commerce company. They're all excited, they want to be cutting edge, so they decide to launch an AI chatbot for customer service. They find a powerful, generic LLM, hook it up to their website, and basically just cross their fingers and hope it works. Zero customization, no training on their actual company info, absolutely zero LLMOps. Okay, so day one, a customer shows up. They have a totally normal question, something customer support gets all the time. Hey, can I return this thing I bought 45 days ago? Seems simple enough, right? Well, the chatbot has no idea what the company's actual return policy is. So what does it do? It just dips into its vast knowledge of the entire internet and it hallucinates. It makes something up. It confidently replies, oh yeah, for sure, you can return the product within 60 days. So confident. And bam, disaster. The company's actual policy is only 30 days. So now they're on the hook financially because they have to honor what their own AI told a customer. But think bigger. What if it wasn't about returns? What if the AI gave bad legal advice or violated some compliance rule? Now we're talking about huge fines and lawsuits, a real nightmare. This exact scenario is why LLMOps exists. It's the discipline that lets you take this incredibly powerful but kind of wild raw AI and tame it. You turn it into something that's actually reliable, safe, and a genuine asset to the business. So, how would an LLMOps Pro have fixed this? Let's walk through it. Step 1, you feed the AI your company's actual data. You give it your real return policy, maybe using a cool technique called RAG. That basically gives the AI a cheat sheet of approved information. Step 2, you give it a safety net. You program it with a simple instruction. If you are not 100% sure, just say, please contact support. No more making stuff up. Step 3, you build guardrails. You tell it what topics are off limits. And finally, step 4, you watch it like a hawk. You create a feedback loop, so you're constantly checking its answers and fine-tuning its performance. It's a continuous process. Okay, so now you get it. You see the problem, you see the solution. The next logical question is, how do I learn this stuff? What's the actual learning path to get these high-value skills? Here's the roadmap. You'll want to start with the fundamentals, right? Solid Python skills, and get really comfortable making API calls to different LLMs. From there, you get into the fun stuff. Prompt engineering, which is an art in itself. You'll learn about RAG and vector databases. Those are just specialized tools to help the AI find the right info super fast. And then you bring it all together by building out the monitoring and guardrails, probably using the tools you already know and love, like Kubernetes and CI/CD. And now for my favorite part. This is especially for all you DevOps folks out there. Listen up. You are not starting from zero, not even close. You have a huge, massive head start in this race. Get this. If you're a DevOps engineer, you probably already know 40, maybe even 50% of what it takes to be great at LLMOps. Seriously, all those core ideas, automation, monitoring, managing a system's lifecycle, that's already how you think. It's in your DNA. Just think about it. You're already an expert with APIs. You live and breathe CI/CD. Versioning, rollbacks, observability. That's your bread and butter. Cost control, scaling infrastructure, Kubernetes, containers, check, check, and check. These are the pillars of LLMOps. All you're really doing is learning to point those amazing skills at a new and exciting target, large language models. So look, LLMOps is way more than just another buzzword. It's the essential rulebook for putting the next generation of AI into the world safely and effectively. The demand is exploding, we've just laid out the learning path, and if you come from an ops background, you're practically already there. So the only real question left is, are you ready to get in on the ground floor and start building the future of AI?
Okay, so if you're a DevOps engineer, listen up. Because you might be sitting on an absolute gold mine of skills that could literally double your salary in the next couple of years. We're talking about a brand new discipline that is set to just explode by 2026, and it's creating a massive demand for people who can master it. It's called LLMOps. So let's dive into what it is, why it's so incredibly critical, and exactly how you can get started.
But first, let me tell you a little horror story. It's a story about how a seemingly innocent AI chatbot, the kind we're all starting to see everywhere, can go so spectacularly wrong that it brings a company to its knees. We're talking a financial and legal nightmare, all from a single line of text.
So, picture this, an e-commerce company, right? They're all excited, they want to get in on this whole AI revolution. So they decide to add a customer support chatbot, but they want it done fast. So they just grab a powerful, off-the-shelf large language model, plug it straight into their system, and kind of just hope for the best. No fine-tuning, no guardrails, no safety net. What could possibly go wrong? Famous last words.
All right, so a customer pops onto the site. They ask a super simple, factual question. The kind of thing a human support agent could answer in their sleep. Can I return a product after 45 days? All it needs is a quick check of the company rules. Simple, right? Well, the AI, with all the unearned confidence of a seasoned pro, just fires back, yes, you can return the product within 60 days. And here's the kicker. The company's actual return policy, a hard, strict 30 days. The AI didn't just get it wrong, it completely made it up. In the AI world, we have a name for this. It's called a hallucination. And let me tell you, it is a company's absolute worst nightmare.
And you can just imagine what happens next, right? This one tiny error just spirals. All of a sudden, the company is staring down financial losses because it has to honor a policy that doesn't even exist. And worse, they're facing major legal risks for misrepresenting their own terms of service. This kind of fire is exactly what LLMOps was created to fight. It's the fire department for AI, and in this new age, every single company is going to need it.
Now, at this point, you're probably thinking, hang on a second. An LLM, it's just another model, right? We've already got MLOps, machine learning operations, for this exact kind of thing. And you know what? That's a great question. But the answer is, using MLOps for LLMs is like trying to use a bicycle to compete in a Formula One race. I mean, you've got the right idea, but the tool is, well, it's just not going to cut it.
Okay, this right here, this is why we need a whole new playbook. It really is a tale of two models. On one side, you have your traditional ML models. They're predictable, they're reliable, they're your workhorse. But on the other side, you've got LLMs. They're wild, they're creative, and yeah, Sometimes they're downright dangerous. They're stallions, and you just can't tame a stallion with the same gear you use for a workhorse. Their massive size, their unpredictable output, and their crazy high costs demand a completely new approach.
And that new playbook is LLMOps. At its heart, LLMOps is the operating system for LLMs. It's the culture, the practices, the whole shebang that lets us build, deploy, monitor, and constantly improve these incredibly powerful, but also incredibly complex models, without them going completely off the rails. Without it, you are flying totally blind.
And this quote just nails it. DevOps is for apps. LLMOps is for LLMs. Look, we all know how DevOps completely changed the game for software, right? It broke down those silos between developers and operations. Well, LLMOps is doing the exact same thing for AI. But honestly, the stakes are even higher. With LLMs, you're not just wrangling code, you're managing a model that can think, create, and yes, even lie. So let's rewind. Let's go back to our chatbot disaster. How would an LLMOps engineer have stopped that fire before it even started? Well, first, they'd feed it knowledge using something called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. Just think of it like giving the AI a library card to all the company's internal documents. That way, it looks up the right answer instead of just making one up. Then they'd set the rules with prompt engineering, basically teaching it how to answer. Third, they'd build digital fences, we call them guardrails, to stop it from ever saying something that breaks the rules. And finally, they'd watch it like a hawk, using feedback loops to make it smarter and safer every single day.
Okay, so now you get it. You see the problem and you see the solution. The big question now is, how do you become the person who can provide that solution? How do you become the LLM ops expert that, trust me, companies are already scrambling to find? All right, here's your learning path. Your roadmap to becoming an LLM Ops Pro. You're going to want to start with Python and an API framework like FastAPI, because that's the language of AI applications. Then you dive into prompt engineering. That's how you learn to talk to the AI. Next up, you'll tackle RAG and vector databases. That's how you give the AI a memory. And finally, you master the operational backbone, monitoring, guardrails, and of course, Kubernetes and CI/CD, which is how you automate, scale, and improve everything.
Now, here is the really good news, especially if you're already in the DevOps world. You are not starting from scratch, not even close. You are already way ahead of the game.
Yeah, just look at this. This chart tells you everything you need to know. If you're coming from DevOps, you are already halfway there. You've already built the foundation. You've laid the plumbing, wired the electricity, put up the walls. Now you just get to do the fun part, adding the AI-specific furniture and decorations that turn this house into a home.
And this is where all those skills you already have, your DevOps superpowers, really come into play. Your mastery of CI/CD? That's not just for code anymore. Now it's for training and deploying models on the fly. Your expertise in observability isn't just for monitoring servers, it's for reading the mind of the AI. And your knowledge of cost control isn't just for cloud bills, it's for taming that token-hungry beast that is an LLM. And look, 2026, that's just around the corner. A huge wave is building, and you've got a choice. You can learn to surf it, or you can get totally wiped out by it. The time to grab your board and start paddling is, like, right now.
So the bottom line is this: the next generation of AI is being built as we speak. But it needs operators, it needs engineers, it needs architects. The only real question left is, are you ready to be one of the people who operates it? The choice is yours.